Hello, I'm Phoenix Police Chief Jerry Williams. You're about to see video footage and other information regarding a critical incident in our community. Investigations of these incidents often require officers to talk with multiple witnesses, view hours of footage, and examine a great deal of forensic evidence. This thorough investigative process takes time. While the investigative process is underway, we want to release as much information to the community as possible so you can understand the details of the incident as we currently understand them. The information may change as the investigation develops. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Mercedes Fortune of the Phoenix Police Department's Public Affairs Bureau. The information, audio, and visuals you're about to see are intended to provide details of an officer-involved shooting which occurred in the early morning of November 3rd, 2019, after a 5-hour barricade. The suspect involved in this incident was identified as 32-year-old Michael Austin. Conclusions about whether the actions of the officers are consistent with department policy and the law will not be made until all the facts are known and the investigation is complete. This video may contain strong language as well as graphic video and images which may be disturbing to some people. Viewer discretion is advised. This incident began the night of November 2nd, 2019 at 7:40 p.m. Officers were called to a residence around 28th Street and Atlanta Avenue. The caller said that 32-year-old Michael Austin had hit his mother and was armed with what the caller described as a big gun. Here is the 911 call.
Phoenix Police, this is. How can I help you?
Yes, I want to be anonymous, but I'm going to call. I want to call and report something that's serious going on.
What are you calling to report?
Okay, the address is East Atlanta, and there's a little boy. His name is Michael Austin. He hit his mom in the face, and he has a gun in the house. And his brothers, people are scared to go in because they don't know, what he's gonna do. Nobody's doing nothing, so I'm taking it upon myself to call so somebody can get over there before he hurt himself and possibly others.
Okay, and how do you know that this is going on?
Well, I was just over there, and the people come running up to my car telling me, I'm like, are y'all going to call the police? Nobody wants to call the police, but I'm calling the police because he hit his mom. You don't, that's one thing you don't do.
How old is he?
You don't hit your mom. This guy, I'm going to say he's in his 30s, and what it was, I think he witnessed a guy getting shot probably about a month ago, and ever since that happened, he's been somebody else. This is not him. But,
okay.
He got a big gun in that house.
The officers arrived, knocking at the front door. The people inside refused to open the door and told officers that everything was fine. The officers did not have any additional information to indicate that the residents needed additional help. Here is the body-worn camera.
Holding a check well first. Lane. Holding a 239 South 18th, please.
Huh? Isn't that right next to you? Yeah. How many are you down? Good for you. How many are you down?
One, but I didn't.
Good for you guys.
How about you?
2.
Yeah.
It's Phoenix Police. I'm sorry? Phoenix Police Department. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Man, if you want to peek in the blinds, you'll be able to see us in full uniform. Phoenix Police. Phoenix Police. I'm a little hoarse. I don't feel well. I'm sorry, I can't hear you, but it's the Phoenix Police Department.
We're 13 George. Were you trying to raise me? Negative.
I would just start ringing the doorbells when she was going. What'd she say?
I don't know. That would really start this off on a great leg if we just...
Yeah.
If you want to look in the blinds, you'll see us in full uniform. Hello? The outside pane is. You don't have to unlock it, but can you just open it? Hello? Man, we're just checking to make sure you're okay. You're okay? Is it possible for you to open the door just so I can talk to you? Alright. Well, we got a call here about possibly something to do with, hello?
3 hours later, at 11:30 p.m., dispatchers received a second 911 call. The caller said that his brother-in-law was armed with a gun and had punched the 69-year-old woman who was in need of medical attention. Here is the second 911 call.
CX 911, where is your emergency?
Yeah, I have my brother-in-law. He is barricaded himself in a house with a gun, and my he's talking crazy.
Okay,
He's
what's
already
the
struck
address?
my mother.
What's the address where he's at?
East Atlanta. We're here right now.
Okay, is there anybody else in the house with him?
Yeah, he's got my mother-in-law in the house, my sister-in-law, and my brother-in-law are in the house. He got all the lights off. I was able to call and talk to her on the phone, but apparently something physical went down and the phone went dead. My brother is here. He said that he possibly has several guns in the house as well. So we've tried to handle this peacefully. But right now it's been about 3 or 4 hours. My mother-in-law is in a lot of pain because I can hear the way she's talking in her voice. But we tried everything we could to get in the house, and it's not working out, and we're not gonna get no sleep.
Oh no, yeah, no problem. We do have a call for an officer. Go out there. Okay, you said East Atlanta.
Yes.
Okay, and this is your brother-in-law?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
what's his name?
all the family's outside. His name is Michael Austin.
Officers arrived at the home and tried to make contact with the people inside once again. While waiting out front, the officers heard a shot inside the house. The officers determined that the people inside were in immediate danger and approached the east side of the house. The officers broke a window to gain better view of where the shot had come from. After breaking the window, they were met by gunfire. Here is the body camera video from one of the officers. The video is dark due to the time of day. The use of flashlights was minimal to avoid detection.
There was shot fired in the back room. Out here.
Let's go.
Southeast corner of the house.
Crisis entry, boys. She wants to walk back across. She's got kids inside the house. We're setting up crisis entry. Mike Carmody, where'd you go? Joe, you gonna be able to make it over there? Fuck. Get these bunkers. Ma'am, walk across, go inside your home. Walk across, go inside your home. Okay, let's get it, let's get it. Go with crisis entry. Yeah, we're gonna go with crisis entry, but make sure we keep cover. Get behind those shields, okay? It's on, boys. Let's go. You guys taking this bunker?
We got two on the other
We
side.
can get a dedicated bunker.
Yep, we got two on the other side.
Two. Dedicated bunker. Dedicated bunker. Let's go.
Russell with me, sir?
We do have family in there, right? He's not alone?
He's not alone.
All right. Somebody get the dedicated bunker. I want. Come on, guys. Let's go.
Which window did he hit the shots? We know.
Hold on. Hey, which window did it sound like it came from on the back side? Yeah, we can go in back and breach the window. Right.
Window that from the southeast corner of the house.
Okay. Yeah, let's go breach the window.
Get your rake and break. That window should already be broken too, sir.
What's that?
That window should already be broken. That's where he's at.
Okay. Mike.
Yeah.
We're gonna let's get into the backyard. Okay.
He's up here. Smoke, come on!
Alright, hey guys.
Make our way to that window.
Moving.
Leave a team here too. Make our way back there first.
We'll get the gate.
Bunker up here, cover me, come on.
Kill the light.
Radio, we
Kill the light.
inside the house.
Kill the light.
I'm aware of it. Come on, you guys. Tell all like four please. People at the front door still, guys. Right here, stay put.
We need somebody, yeah, hold it. All I need is two guys back here, a rifle. I need a rifle, people take the window. Okay, and we got a rifle.
Yeah, he's coming. He's coming.
I can take the window of this.
Rifle.
You got a rifle?
Rifle up yet?
Where's the rifle? Shots fired in the house. We'll get it.
Will do, sir.
Directly to you guys this morning.
Thank you, Don, if you can actually Don't open this window when we go past.
It's, I don't hear it. I'm busy right now. Start making notifications. We got yet.
What's the dog?
Yep, I got this team. I got it. There more shots coming out there? What is that? No shots?
I have the break.
No,
What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that?
Hey, let's play this window.
Can you see in there yet?
What's his name?
We still got shots fired in this house.
Was that shot first? I don't know.
I think that was just hitting something. I don't think that was a gunshot.
You've got to peek through here and look.
You got the shield.
Got shots fired.
Shots fired in the hole.
Shots fired in the room.
Watch the back.
What's it? What's the window?
One more bunker.
One more bunker in front of the country. Can we cover down on another window?
I got your back.
We're on stucco. Back the fuck up. Back up. We're on stucco. You got nothing right here.
Back it up.
Back it up. Watch.
Officers regrouped and reassessed their approach. They began to give Austin commands via Police Vehicle Public Address System, or the PA. Austin was asked repeatedly to exit the home with his hands up, but he refused. At this point, with the suspect firing shots inside the home and refusing to leave, and the possibility of injured victims, the Special Assignments Unit, or SAU, was called to take over. SAU officers gathered cell phone numbers for Austin and tried to call him, but he did not answer. With the help of witnesses, officers were able to confirm there were 3 other people inside the house, including Austin's brother, sister, and mom. At the time of this incident, SAU officers were not equipped with body-worn cameras. Since they took over the case, there is no more video. However, to provide a summary and a better understanding of the actions of Austin and the outcome, we will utilize a timeline including radio transmissions and crime scene photos. This timeline begins shortly after midnight. At 12:16 a.m., there are shots heard from the back room.
425 Lincoln, there was shots fired in the back room. A broken window out here in the southeast corner of the house.
12:20 a.m., shots are fired inside of the house.
And again, right now what we got is shots fired in the house. We do have the family inside, and we're making our way to the back.
At 12:21 a.m., additional shots are heard.
Shots fired in the home. Shots fired in the home.
12:26 a.m., officers shoot pepper balls into windows to have Austin exit the house. Officers hear additional shots after the pepper balls are used.
And deploy some pepper balls into his back bedroom window. Put about 10 pepper balls in that window. We had a couple more shots fired come out.
At 12:29, more shots are heard from within the house.
Additional shots fired inside the home.
We got more shots fired in the house.
Yeah. More shots near the front door.
At 12:30, shots are fired out of the east window. Due to Austin's actions, surrounding homes are now evacuated.
And 621, he just shot about a volley of 3 shots out of the east-facing window on the north side of this house.
SAU officers continued their communication efforts with Austin. Officers also utilized electronic equipment to gain a better view of the residents as they attempted to locate the victims, but unfortunately, they were unsuccessful. Austin refused to let the people inside leave and would not allow them to speak with officers. An officer assigned as an SAU negotiator made numerous attempts to speak with Austin throughout the night. Austin refused to speak with the officer and refused to come out of the residence. Here are transmissions from our negotiator as he attempted to communicate with Austin from 1 a.m. to 4:30 a.m.
Michael, I'm trying really hard to hear what you have to say. What you have to say is very important to me, and I want to be able to hear your message. But there is a dog that's barking that I'm picking up that's covering your voice. I'm going to call your landline again, your home phone. I'm asking that you pick that up so you and I can have a conversation that's uninterrupted. I'm calling that phone number now. Michael, it's very clear you're upset with us. If you want to take a moment to yourself and allow me an opportunity maybe to talk to your mom, and maybe they can fill me in on why you're so upset and what's going on. We'd like to hear your side of the story, Michael. I know you want us to leave. We've had that conversation. We cannot do so until we hear your side of the story. I'm listening if you'd like to talk. Michael, we'd like to try and help you resolve this problem this evening. Again, we don't want a confrontation with you. We'd like to help you resolve this. It's just going to take a little bit of cooperation on your part. Michael, as you can see by this point, I'm doing my best to try and work with you on this. I'm searching for ways to better communicate with you to hear your message and look for a peaceful resolution. Can you help me with that?
At 4:39 a.m., officers heard an additional shot. They asked Austin if the victims inside were injured. Austin refused to answer, and attempts to confirm the safety of the people inside failed. When Austin would not surrender, SAU decided to enter the home and rescue the victims. Here is a 3-dimensional image of the residence. This was done with the Pharaoh software. The software has been in use since 2010. The angle you will see is from the rear of the residence. This is where Austin is seen when the tactical approach is initiated at 4:55 a.m. Austin was armed with a gun in the rear bedroom. An SAU officer shot at Austin as SAU officers forced open the front door.
535 shots away, southeast bedroom. Suspect is down out of view. He ran back to the front.
The first bullet missed Austin and he ran towards the front of the house. Austin fired at officers as they attempted to enter the front door.
51, stand by for breach. Breach. 51, push that front door. He's in the hallway. 51, suspect is down in the hallway. We have one shot from the front door. Deconflict. 71, I think he is still shooting at us. Give me a window to the other side. 71, we are pinned down at the front door. 71, we're going to need another entry point. You're going to have to come in from the west.
2 officers shot at Austin, striking him. During the gunfire, a fragment from the projectiles fired by the officers struck the 2 female victims who were later discovered huddled in an oversized chair where Austin had been standing. An officer was also struck by a fragment as he was standing outside the living room window. Here is the photo of the officer's gas mask, which was impacted by the fragment. Additionally, an SAU officer was bitten by one of our police canines prior to entering the house. Both women, both officers, and the suspect were removed from the home for medical attention. Austin was pronounced deceased at the scene by fire personnel. Inside the home, investigators determined Austin fired more than 25 rounds and was armed with 2 firearms. Investigators also located additional weapons throughout the house. The suspect's mother and sister and the 2 officers injured during the standoff are still recovering from their injuries. They are no longer hospitalized. The adult man was rescued as well and was unharmed. 4 officers fired their weapons during this incident. They range in age from 37 to 52 years old, with between 3 and 31 years of service. Thank you for watching.